what could be the new thing for them?
Well, I dream about the new Ghost album, of course, because I'm a huge Ghost fan. That's all
Really?
I do is think about what could Tobias be making in his little studio right now. And my only hope, which is always my hope, is that he makes Opus Eponymous Part 2,
Oh my god.
I knew
which
it.
is not going to happen. Which is not going to happen. But it would be cool. Like, I mean, he did say in an interview that he's going back to like that 70s sound. I would love that. Like if
Me
he
too.
he went back and did like some 70s prog and like Black Sabbathy type stuff. Um I don't think that'll happen. But that's my hope. And again, I hoped that for Impera, but I loved Impera. It was not anything I thought it would be, and it was awesome. It was a great album,
Hmm.
top notch. I don't think the guy can do anything wrong. So whatever he's recording, I'm sure I'm going to love. I'm sure I'm gonna play it over and over and over and over again, and my wife is gonna go, "God damn it! Quit playing that fucking Ghost song over and over." And then, even though I've listened to the same song over and over and over and over again, when I get to the concert, I ain't gonna have a fucking clue what that guy said in the song because
Yep.
I'm terrible
Yeah,
at
you and lyrics are
lyrics.
just not it.
Listen,
No.
I'm really good at lyrics. I am a good karaoke person, but when it comes to ghost songs, for some reason, I will always mess up a lyric when I sing
Yeah.
along. I don't know what it is.
That's me with
I guess it's just
Kaiserion
my inner
every single
Tobias
time.
coming out.
Exactly. Even Tobias doesn't know the lyrics, so I
He gets
mean,
it wrong on stage all the time.
absolutely.
God bless him.
He uses really big, complicated words that are
Yes.
more complicated than most people do in songs, and they're often like Latin or just words that people don't use a lot. And so I usually just and I'm not someone who like can look at the like lyric sheet while I'm listening. I have to be doing something.
Hmm.
So I'm usually like writing notes for work or
Mm.
I'm working out. So I just make up my own words.
Hell yeah, you
And
do.
then
Remix.
when I find out that that's not it, like what was it? I am all ears, I am all eyes,
I'm the wall.
I am it is I am the wall. I
Yeah.
always thought said it was I am the one. So I was like
Oh.
I
Okay.
am the one.
Yeah.
That makes no sense at all. I'm like I'm watching you fall. But I
Hmm.
mean that does make some sense,
It
right?
kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that was one I made up, and then there's other ones where then I'm just like watermelon, watermelon, especially like when you're front row and he's like right
Watermelon.
there looking at you, and I get really nervous, and I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are
I
the
start
lyrics?
blushing. I just kind of black out.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, Papa.
Me too. But then I look around and there's a million other fans who are like screaming out the lyrics at him. And I'm like, damn it, why did you have to look like? And then there'll be a song where like I know one full verse completely well. And the other verse, I'm like, nah, I'm a little shaky on that. And of course, that's when he comes over to my area is when I'm on the shaky part of the song that I don't really know.
Yeah, that's why you haven't gotten Cerise yet, or as you say, Searseed.
Seriously?
Because he comes over and he's like, huh, fake fan, you don't know my lyrics. Bye.
That's right. Fake fan, fake fan. And that's probably like when I saw him and I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? He was like, well, are you the
Mm.
dude that doesn't know the
No.
lyrics? The guy going watermelon, 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 watermelon.
So you said that what you wanted for Impera was completely different. What did you think Impera was going to be? What were your hopes and dreams for that one?
I mean, I, I, I've, I mean, honestly, I always like super extreme lyrics in music but I don't necessarily like super extreme sounds. Like
Hmm.
I like
Okay.
melody. So what really
Yeah.
initially drew me to Ghost was the super, like satanic lyrics with the sweet melodic music, like the um, dichotomy of that, or was very interesting to me. So, and I know he's never going to go back to that, but
Yeah.
he has important things to say, which is great. I enjoy his social commentary, and I learn a lot of things. Like,
Hmm.
I read The Handmaid's Tale, based on,
Great TV
you know,
show.
I read the book. I don't watch TV.
You
Um,
should. We haven't.
based on Kaisarian, and and so what do I expect from Ghost? I'll say this: I expect to be um, wowed by the influences for whatever will influence this album. I think Impera was very 80s rock influence, like Def Leppard and Van Halen, um, and I like all those bands and so I'm sure I like most of the music that
Mm.
Tobias also likes. So I'm sure that I will like whatever is his influences here, but it will make me want to listen to whatever his influences are. I am sure that I will be stimulated intellectually, meaning I will
Hmm.
learn something based on the lyrics of the songs, or I will be, I'll want to pick up a book. I'll want to find a certain type of music that he says the song was based on.
Yeah.
And so that's all I really, I honestly, I think the one thing I like about Ghost is I think Tobias is a really true fan of music. And like a lot of musicians love the music that they make, but they might listen to other stuff, but like this guy really knows music. And I love to hear him talk about what influenced the record or what records
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
listening to when he was recording the album, because I want to go back and find those records and listen to them.
Hmm.
Um, and it's cool when he likes something I already like. Like there was an interview back when Pre-Cal came out, and he was talking about Black Sabbath, and Black Sabbath is my favorite, heavy metal band, probably my favorite band of all time. I go back and forth with the Beatles, but there was an interview where he was saying like, yeah, the first Black Sabbath album is great. Everyone likes that, and everyone likes Paranoid. He's like, but I really like, you know, um, Sabotage and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath when Black Sabbath was in the studio and doing things, not only making riffs but like fooling around with different techniques and stuff in the studio. I was like, holy shit, this guy really knows music, because my favorite Black Sabbath albums are Sabotage and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. So I was like, hey, that's cool, and I respect that
Yeah.
guy for what he thinks about music. So when he talks about other bands that maybe I haven't listened to, like the Dickies,
Hmm.
um, go out and he talked about on one of their records, and um, I went out and bought the record he was talking about, which of course I'm blanking on the title right now because I want it to come to me. Dawn of the Dickies. Dawn of the Dickies. And then when I was in LA, we went and saw the Dickies play. Tobias was in LA at the time, and he did not go see them. Very disappointed, Toby.
Wow.
Um, but but anyway, so I expect to find out about new bands that I haven't listened to based on things that he liked or he uh, was influenced in recording. My hope always is that it's going to be some super satanic uh album
Yeah.
with like 70s Black Sabbath style music, but they all can't have that. I get that.
Sure.
That would be boring. People would he wouldn't get new fans. So um I expect those things.
Mm.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Does.
Yeah.
Is when you first of all, I have to answer like a little question, ask you a little question before I can get to the other one. Do you think that there will be a new Papa?
You're cutting in and out, but I think you said, do you think there will be a new
Yeah.
Papa?
Yeah.
um I really do hope so, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I was a
Back it up.
fan of Friday the 13th, and I will connect this. and Friday the 13th, there has been multiple episodes of Friday the 13th, and I thought how cool it'll be when Friday the 13th gets to the 13th volume of Friday the 13th. And you know what? We never fucking got there. Fuck. Like, why hasn't someone made Friday the 13th part 13? Why? Why could we not get there? I have no fucking clue. I have been so excited to get to Papa Pentagram and then Papa 666. Why in the world? And you know what's going to happen? We're not going to get there because I want it so bad. I want Papa fucking Pentagram and Papa 666. And it ain't going to happen. It's going to be like Friday the 13th. All of I'm fucking
Unsatisfied.
in the goddamn football waiting.
He's edging you.
So no, there's not going to be a new Papa. It's going to be some totally new bullshit. And I'm going to miss out on Papa Pentagram and Papa 666.
Well,
I'm manifesting it for you, Brad. I hope it happens.
I hope so.
I kind of don't want to ask the next question because my follow-up question would have been if you could imagine, with you saying that you would, wish for an Opus 2.0. I wanted to ask you if you can imagine the new look for a new Papa, for the new lead singer. So, yeah.
I think the new look will be jarring. I gotta be honest, like I love Papa 1. I love Papa 2. I know everyone loves Papa 3. His look, it becomes more goofy, and then the Cardinal even goofier. So it's gonna be something goofy. And, of course I want the old, the old evil guy,
Yeah. Turzo always reminded me of that really horny skunk from the Looney Tunes. Pepe Le Pew. That's who he's from. Yes. I love him though. I like how silly it is, but I'm like you. I'm craving something dark and creepy, and I kind of want an unlikable Papa. Because he said like the empire is now built in one of his Instagram posts. That's what Tobias said. So I'm hoping that the next album is corruption, creepiness, the empire is decaying. Let's have Papa Pentagram be weird and creepy, and I don't know, like I want something super dark.
Like a mixture of
I'm with you. We can manifest it together.
Give him some blood.
Yeah, sprinkle it on.
I have a Copia tattoo too. Because one thing that I always loved, which I hope happens more, is when rock music gets tied in with horror movies. Going back to Alice Cooper, The Man Behind the Mask, Dokken. And so when Tobias did the Halloween, was able to have Hunter's Moon be part of Halloween, like that was. First of all, I fucking love Hunter's Moon. Yeah. I love that song.
Love it.
And then the fact that it was in the Halloween movie, I mean, it's so great. Like I remember my wife and I driving to go see Halloween. We're blasting Hunter's Moon all the way there. Saw it in the theater, and it was awesome. And then there was.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, wait. I asked the question. What was the question?
Which version of Hunter's Moon do you prefer? The film one or the studio one?
Studio.
Okay.
Studio. I do. I like the totally polished version.
Yeah.
I've only listened to the other one a couple of times. Yeah. And then of course there was Stay.
Listen.
Great that he had another song in a horror movie. Really hard to blast that tune as I was going to see. I did go see that in theater because of it.
I hated the movie.
Sabrina did too.
Hated it. I didn't understand
the movie was okay. The song, I don't understand why the actor was singing.
He's a singer.
And he's a big Ghost fan.
Yeah. Him and the leading lady of that movie, they actually like do karaoke like metal songs. They're like big metalheads.
Oh. I mean, I'm glad they're fans of Ghost. Patrick Wilson, that's awesome. And listen, if I was famous enough and someone said, "Hey, you can sing on a, Ghost song, even if it's a cover
Always,
song or
yeah.
whatever it is," I would, and I can't sing a lick, but fuck yeah, I would sing.
Yes, please.
But
Yeah.
it does kind of suck because like up until that point, it was only Tobias singing on every song except for he had some remix.
I don't like that version. People like it.
It's
No,
okay.
thank you.
It's better than the Patrick Wilson song, I'll say that. And then of course I own the Opus demos where someone else sings on the CD. One song. But now I don't feel as special because Patrick Wilson sings on a Ghost song. He ruined the mystique that it's Tobias only. And what if like, how crazy would that be if Tobias had like a Slash album where it was like a bunch of different lead singers?
Imagine.
That'd be kind of fun.
Would suck. Don't do that, Tobias.
Listen to the man. You're talking about movies. Of course, this is like another type of movie. Have you heard a lot about the upcoming Ghost movie?
The upcoming Ghost movie. I was just filling out my IMDb page because I'm gonna be in that movie.
Hell yeah, brother.
So
sure, yeah.
They contacted me, make sure I was still okay with being on the video. So I had to, put my IMDb, all the wonderful projects. I listed this podcast and my hip hop podcast that I do, and yeah, that was about it. No, I don't know anything about the Ghost movie.
Brett, can you put a strike on the board? Can you put a strike on the board for him? That deserves at least two.
Let me remove that. That is not for Jillian anymore. That is now for Brad. Brad strikes. let me give you a second one, just fucking because. Oh my god. I was a little invested, and then I was like, is he serious? But yeah, oh my god.
When I saw that question, I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell him I'm making my own IMDb page.
I hate you.
I'm gonna be in that movie. But I am. I mean, if it's got concert footage from LA, I'm there in the front row.
Put it on your resume.
I fought hard for that shit. I was like, I gotta be in the limelight for this. I literally no clue about what to go. We've just already identified that I don't watch the chapters or retain the chapters if I have seen them. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't, obviously I know that Papa 4 should become Papa Pentagram, which isn't going to happen because I want it. And he probably Tobias is like, that's too, like, it's too easy, it's too known, like everyone expects that, so I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to have a Papa Pentagram and a Papa 666.
I don't know. That blew my mind when you mentioned it to me that one day, and it doesn't matter if I was a little drunk that day, but that blew my mind when you mentioned Papa Pentagram. I was like, wait, a pentagram is 5? Papa 5? It's the didn't even occur to me.
So
okay, well, hey, listen, make sure that this gets played a lot in Sweden. Send it to all his friends so he can see it and he'll be like, oh, that BR asterisk D has a really good idea. Make sure though, when you do this, that you put the Subvision unofficial logo, all like put Papa Pentagram, you draw a little pentagram.
Will do.
Put the Subvision unofficial logo there so he knows. My idea.
So to educate you a little bit, Tobias said himself, it's going to be a movie with concert elements. So they shot other stuff we don't know what. Nobody knows. But yeah, the concert is just going to be part of the movie, not the whole movie. So the
So
question,
here's the thought.
yeah,
Here's the thought
Okay.
about the movie. So you're gonna ask me what I think. Haven't watched a lot of band concert movies, and I know there's a Kiss movie out there that's universally panned. But I will say one concert movie I really, really liked. It was really formative for me when I was growing up. Was "Song Remains the Same" by Led Zeppelin, and I don't know if you guys have watched that or not. If you haven't, you
Mm-mm.
should educate yourself and spend 2 hours and watch this amazing concert film. So basically, it's Led Zeppelin in concert at the height of their popularity, and each member of the band gets their little vision. So Robert Plant. One song starts playing, and Robert Plant has his vision, and
Oh,
then Jimmy Page is
cool.
playing. He has his little story, and then John Bonham and John Paul Jones. That would be a cool way to do it because it's mainly a concert
yeah,
film with interspersed kind of like artistic
yeah,
interpretations by Led Zeppelin. And there's also like backstage stuff going on at that time too. They'll intersperse it with that too. That I thought I liked that when I was growing up. That's really the only concert film I can think of that I watched or really struck home with me. And
yeah.
and listen, and would be awesome if like the DVD comes out and Tobias is like, yeah, I really wanted to make it like Song Remains the Same because
Oh,
that stuck with me. I'd be like, that's my
Yeah.
guy. So
told
I'm putting
you.
it out there before him. I'm putting it out there before him in case he actually, but he probably doesn't like Led Zeppelin. I mean, I don't even like Led Zeppelin that much. They're kind of,
I like
you know,
Mm.
I like some songs there,
hmm
but everybody likes Led Zeppelin. But that when I was in high school, I watched that a few times. I thought that was really cool. Um, I have never watched the Kiss movie. I know he's a huge Kiss fan. I'm trying to think of other bands that have made
Metallica. There was a
like
Metallica
movies out.
one.
Yeah, there. I don't know if I've watched all of the Metallica ones. There's a bunch of them, but I watched the one that was
Yeah.
the making of the Black Album, which was pretty cool. But I don't know if that's the one he's talking about. There's a couple other ones too. Who knows? But I think it'd be cool. I'd rather it be more music and less story
Mm.
than more story and less music. And I'll be honest with you, like, Tobias has said, like, it wasn't ever his idea to have a story. The record label wanted him to have a story to go along with
Yeah,
Ghost.
sure.
And so I know he likes it now. It's its own thing, and probably thinks it was a good idea. But to me, it's like fluff.
Mm.
Some people really like it. I love the music. I think the guy's a musical genius.
Mm.
I will say because you're just in one of those moods today, I can tell.
Mhm.
When you were like one movie growing up, concert film I really liked. I really thought you were gonna say Spinal Tap, and I love Spinal Tap. And honestly, thinking about it, I think it's just gonna be silly like that.
Probably.
It could be. It could be. Do you know I saw Spinal Tap live? I saw
Did
them on
you?
the Breaking the Wind tour, in
Have you
1992.
seen that, Sabrina?
Um,
No, I have
It
not.
is hilarious. It's like a mockumentary.
Uh huh.
yes.
Um, you're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, I'll look into
And
that.
when you do, you'll think that my turntable altar looks like Stonehenge.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That movie.
Yes. I forgot about
And I need to rewatch Spinal Tap. I have watched it, but I honestly it didn't stick with me like Song Remains the Same because I mean that's more shtick and they weren't a real band. I mean they did tour. Like I said, I saw them. And I do have I have a sealed, not a signed, I have a sealed copy of the original press of the Spinal Tap album, which is pretty rare. So that'd be cool if it was Spinal Tappy, but I mean, again, I want it to be more music, but I could see it being kind of goofy, silly like
yeah.
that, because it's Ghost.
Hmm.
So And I'll tell you, Song Remains the Same is not goofy or silly. It's it's artistry.
Ooh.
Artistry.
It is.
So did you went to both LA nights or just one?
I did.
To
I did.
both. Did you like before?
I was front row both nights.
Wow.
Hell yeah, dude.
Beforehand, did you have any
So
kind
yeah, I waited outside that venue for 8+ hours each day to get front row, and
Worth it.
I will probably never do that again. But yeah, I think it was worth it because it was
Worth
being
it.
filmed. And now, if I was with Laura, we would not have done that because she refuses to do stuff like that. But I was there by myself, so I had nobody telling me what to do. So I was out there in the early morning. That's where I met Dare, who did your podcast, and she got Cerise.
good,
Yes!
And I
good,
saw,
Brett.
She deserves it.
I saw her. I did. I was like, yeah, so cool. And afterwards, I was like, I'm so happy for you. But inside, I was so jealous. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be Cerise. I would feel so nervous. Like just even if like when you're front row and he comes around and he looks down at you, like my heart starts beating
Yeah,
and
same.
like my
Yeah.
face turns red. If someone was looking at me and holding their hand out and singing to me for like 2 minutes or however long it probably would seem like an eternity, and I would be nervous, and I probably would forget the easy lyrics that he's saying at that time, and which you guys could probably say right now, but I can't think of at the moment.
Don't listen to Cerise.
Has he
What's that?
ever
You don't listen to it?
has he ever Cerise the dude? I don't
He
think.
has.
Really?
He
I heard.
has.
I heard
Actually,
he
if
has.
you look at if you go on Twitter and you look at one of my haters that are like, because I dressed as Papa One at a show, and then apparently Papa One got cerised, and one of the people who hates me is like, oh, it's not Subvision Unofficial. Blah, blah, blah. I'll screenshot it.
Could you imagine how much more they would hate you when you get Cerise? Because I'm manifesting that for you, by the way.
No, don't. I probably won't be.
Don't. He
Probably
panicked.
won't be. I don't think I'm gonna do front row anymore because like I've done front row so much now. I just want to sit back in the seats and watch the show and like enjoy it from that aspect, and not have to like worry about getting to the barrier. I mean, it's like it's not like. I mean, I don't know how many times you guys have been Barry or at any show. It's like something you have to think about and plan.
It gives you
What
gray
time am I gonna?
hairs.
It does. It does. You like you
Yeah.
got to get up early in the morning. You got to sit there for a while. You got to hope that you're the first person there. And honestly, Ghost is only getting more and more popular, and it was ridiculous how early people were getting there on the day of the LA show. And I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna wait 8-9 hours for every show just to get front. So that was my like I that this Impera tour. I got anytime I could get front row, except for when I was with Laura, we had seats. I went and did the front row thing, and I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'll get the closest seats possible or closest balcony seats, but I'm not going to do it anymore. So I will never be Cerise. I'm going to leave that for the younger generation, the TikTok generation, the Twitter
Stop
generation.
calling us
You
that.
Don't give
guys
it
can
to them. Give it to us.
Yeah.
Well, aren't you the TikTok generation or the Twitter generation?
Yeah,
You're
but
way younger than
that
me.
sounds so negative, Brett.
Yeah.
No, I'm old now. I'm allowing other people to I'm gonna be like Dio. I'm gonna be the last in line.
Anyway. I mean,
Hopefully that didn't go over your head. Dio, he's a
Only
singer.
dying
And
for-
yeah, well there was that album, but there's also The Last in Line,
Okay.
which is an awesome Dio album. And actually, interestingly, Gura thinks that Ghost to him is like the Last in Line album.
Oh.
He thinks it all sounds that way.
Well, this is
Yep.
a shout out to Gura.
Shout out to Gora.
Sir, if
He
you
will
would ever
never-
like to be on this podcast, say the word.
He would not. I guarantee you that.
Well, if he wants to,
This is not out.
get on over
This is
here.
not out to Bradford to the side.
Well, send it to Daniel Norn, who can send it to him, and if he wants to, he can contact either one of us, and we'll let you know, and he'll come on. But he hates. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he would like it, but generally, I don't know. But anyways, yes, Dio, the last one, and I'm not saying it with any animosity. Like it's a younger person's world, right? I'm old, I'm frail. I can't stand up.
You
in the
literally
heat.
just said you're gonna
So-
like run some 5Ks this weekend.
Look at this
Okay.
man. Look at
Oh,
this
it's
man's
10K.
Instagram account. He's not frail.
10Ks.
I'm
I'm so frail. Look at me do a handstand with my pinky while I twirl my dog. That's what you do.
But the resiliency to stand and
Yeah, I'm too old for it. I'm 27. It takes a lot out of you, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I like the
Yeah,
intimacy with the band.
yeah, I do too. Honestly, I wish the Tobias, let's talk for a second.
You're really calling him out this podcast.
The best show I ever went to, and I know he doesn't like this, so they didn't have an area for you to have a pit. They had seats all the way up to the stage. I got front row center because I was the first person to buy Ghost tickets to. It was on the pre-cal tour in 2018, and it was the best show of my whole entire life. I was right there, intimate with the band. There was nobody in front of me. There was nobody even really close to me. It was like being at my own private ghost show. It was awesome. Now listen, I understand that the band is bigger, and it may cost a lot of money, thousands of dollars. I will pay that to have a very close seat, side of the stage. I lay down on the front of the stage, whatever it is, I will pay for it. But I can't
Honestly, same.
I can't do the pit, man. I can't do it anymore. Give me an option. And listen, this is probably gonna make Twitter mad. And I told him before, I'm a capitalist. I can pay for it. I got the money. So listen, Tobias, I got you, man. Hook me up. Hook me up. I will pay it. I will do whatever it takes to be done. Give me the backstage experience, the side stage experience. Put 2 chairs right on the stage, one for me and my wife.
Were
We are
you in
good.
line?
I got you. I got you.